Good up. Good morning, everyone. Today is my presentation topic about characteristic of metaphysical poetry. First, first of all, I can say that what is metaphysical poetry. So we can say that the terms of metaphysical or metaphysics in metaphysics poetry is the fruit of Renaissance era. So a group of poets emerged in the beginning of the 17th century whose poetry comes to be known as the metaphysical poetry. Metaphysical. A word meta means beyond and physics means a physical nature. A word metaphysical is first time used by Dr. Johnson, The Lives of Poets. His book full name is The Life of the Eminent of English Literature. Definition of metaphysical poetry. This is a Merriam-Webster dictionary's definition of poetry. Highly, highly intellectualized poetry marked by bold and ingenious concept, encourage imagery, complexity, and stability of thoughts, frequent use of paradox, and often by deliberate harshness or rigidity of expression. History of metaphysical poetry. John Donne was a founder of the metaphysical poetry. He tried to write poetry in a different way. The name of metaphysical poetry is given Dr. Samuel Johnson for the first time when her life wrote he the life of Abraham Cowley in his book. Abraham Cowley is another metaphysical poet. The lies, but used in the negative sense, uh, criticize the poetry of Donne and his followers, but the same term become a mark appreciable of the metaphysical poetry. Major metaphysical poet John Donne, John Herbert, Henry Vaughan, Richard Crusoe, Andrew Marvell, Abraham Cowley, and John Hall. This is a famous metaphysical poet in his metaphysical poetry. To his mistress, the caller, the sun rising, the flea, the dream, death be not proud, the sweetest love I not do. This is a metaphysical poet. And if any, these all are poetry, main characteristic is imagination and science. Main characteristic of the poetry highlighted by Dr. Johnson. First, con- conscious attempt. All the metaphysical poet made a conscious attempt different from the poetry of farmer poets, and they try to differ both in the matter and the manner of writing poetry. Second, dramatic manner and direct tone of speech is one of the main character of metaphysical poetry. In the starting line of the poem, the canoniza- canoni- the canonization, there is a dramatic starting for this is a line for good sake hold your thought tongue and let me love. Display of scholarship. All the metaphysical poets tried to display their scholarship through their poem. They were a university great truths and men learning. Uses of satire and irony is another characteristic of metaphysical poetry. Donne also used in this poem. Wit, wit is another and most famous characteristic of the poetry. So here we find a various illusion and image relation and practicality, all areas of nature and art of learning to medicine, cosmology, contemporary discoveries, ancient myth, history, law, and art. And the flea is an example of the Platonic love. Platonic love is the another feature of metaphysical poetry. Platonic love means spiritual love which an free element of physics love. Then conclude my topic, I can say the sum of Donne's unconventional approach to love and divine poetry, his combination of thoughts and feeling and hearts of verification make him a metaphysical poet. Lyric of the metaphysical poems are fantastic and particular according to A.C. Watt.
Okay. In your slide, we saw that they made a conscious attempt to differ from their predecessors. Okay. So how would you judge, or how would you tell that what made them differ from their predecessor in the matter of test of time? Or what was that need that they had to differ from their predecessors, like Shakespeare and those? Please.
Next, you don't know the answer. Next one, next question.
Okay, so in what way the metaphysicals differ from the romantic poets?
Because the romantic poets is writing about love, nature, and the metaphysical is the poetry means magic and science concept. Both are different.
Indeed,